Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2023 and another part of this Newcastle series where today we are in a pretty difficult situation. We've got Liverpool at home and then away from home we have Napoli in the Champions League. The reason that is difficult is we're currently 4 points behind Man United. We do have a game in hand, but it is so tight at the top this season. The top six all with a chance of closing that gap down to 4 points. So, and even after that, Arsenal and Spurs just an extra point behind. So 5 points potentially separating the top 9 in the table means we're really in a position where we need to win a lot of games in a row in order to build up a bit of a lead at the top of the pack. And then as well in the Champions League, we are currently second in the group behind PSG. 2 games to go. We only have 6 points from 4, but luckily we are 2 points clear of Napoli and only 3 points clear of Sporting Lisbon, so still all to play for there. When we left off last time, we'd had a good run of it where we had managed to beat Manchester United and Napoli, both at home. We then followed that up with a 5-0 win, Isaac with a hat-trick, a 1-0 win, Trippier with the only goal, and then a 3-0 win over Sporting, Sessegnon, Willock and Isaac with the goals in that one. But the form has been patchy since then, a 3-3 draw with West Ham, where we went 3-0 up in 43 minutes and then somehow ended up in a draw, which was very, very frustrating. Against Brighton, we did manage to get through in the Carabao Cup. 2 very early goals from Wilson and Joelinton, and then Ben Brereton Diaz with the third, a late goal conceded there. We've not been doing too well at the clean sheets. We have this little run, but otherwise we've fallen into old habits. And then away from home against Spurs, another frustrating result. We had 10 men. Twice we went in front. Twice we were pegged back with our 10 men. So quite frustrating we weren't able to see that one out. But good that despite losing a man so early in Iacarte, early in the game, we did manage to come back and get a draw. But then we really suffered a big blow when we lost to Sporting away from home. If we'd won that game, it would have been very different here. We'd be 9 points clear of 9 points in the group, 5 points clear. Sporting would still be on 0 points, and Napoli would basically have no chance of catching us in second place in the group. We'd be 1 point behind PSG. But instead, we have it all to do heading into the end of our group stage campaign. So we need to beat Liverpool, one of our big rivals at home, and then we'll also take on Napoli away and hopefully win that game away from home and qualify for the knockout stages of the Champions League in our first season back, which would be pretty good form. So today we're throwing everything at Liverpool. We've got Isaac up front, Cunha and Saint-Maximin on the wings, then Joelinton, Camavinga and Guimaraes in defensive midfield. Then Sessegnon, Botman, Garcia and Manquillo in defence. Not our strongest back four, but we are suffering with a few injuries and various other things, which means that Garcia will take the captain's armband today. Fortunately, you can see earlier in the day, Manchester United did beat Manchester City. So City, one of our big rivals, falling back as Guimaraes puts the ball in. It's cleared away. Joelinton down to Bruno. All the way back to Manquillo. He's got Eric available on the right. Manquillo now he's taken that position on the right where he belongs. He's taken it to the byline, pulls it back. He's got it back from Firmino there. And again, Robertson, the first man clearing the ball each time. And Diaz now is on the run. He holds it up and Eric did get a foot in there, but Robertson now on the ball. He's been a problem so far. Ball sent back. Saint-Maximin's tackle doesn't work as Robertson plays it on to Konate, and Saint-Maximin has won it this time and he finds Cunha with a bit of space. He runs at a tip, but that is a very tame effort at Alisson in goal. A win today would put us on 24 points, just at 1 point behind United, and even better, open up more of a gap over Liverpool. I still think it will be Liverpool and City as our biggest rivals, but United are being consistent at the top of the table at the moment. Now here's Camavinga over the top for Saint-Maximin, and we are 1-0 up inside 22 minutes. Saint-Maximin doesn't score as many goals as I would maybe like from one of the wingers in this sort of system, but when he does score, they tend to be quite important. They tend to be very good individual goals. This one more of a team goal. Camavinga playing the ball over the top, Saint-Maximin's pace beating Konate, excellent first touch, and Alisson wasn't able to rush out to close that gap at the far post and reduce the space between the striker and the keeper, which meant that he had enough room to aim at to get it past him into that far side. And we're keeping the pressure up here. Salah forced to just pushed the ball out of his area. I wouldn't have expected us to be playing Liverpool like this just in our second season, but here we go. Camavinga on the turn, taking it to the byline, puts it across, and there is Isaac in his usual position on the goal line to just stick the ball in the back of the net, and it is now 2-0, 21 goals now this season for Isaac. He's had so many hat-tricks as well. He is a bit of a streaky player. He will have a little run of 3-4 games where he gets 10 goals and then a few games without one. And that was an emphatic shot off his shin, I think that was there, as he just lashed it into the back of the net. But 2-0 now against Liverpool, who are yet to even have any XG come up. I don't know how bad that shot on target must have been that it has 0 XG, but we're definitely in control. But there's always a chance for Liverpool. As Robertson puts it in, it's cleared away. Salah with it can do damage. He goes to the byline, cuts back across, and that has just run in front of that far post there and gone out for another corner. Good deflection from the team as Robertson takes another corner. It is cleared away. Diaz to Keita. Now Salah goes for goal and he's blasted it over the top, and Salah there not quite at his best. And the front three of Liverpool are utterly shattered as well there. I just saw in that opposition 11 screen as Saint-Maximin does the running, finds Cunha, it's in, and Matip's missed it, and Isaac wasn't expecting it, or he was too eager to get the shot away, and he's missed a very good opportunity. But this Liverpool team 2-0 down at half time and also looking utterly shattered. They're going to have to ring the changes soon. Look at that, straight after half time, the two wingers, the front three, all dead on their feet, and that does bode well for us, especially as someone like Robertson with a yellow card could be liable to a second. But we've given the ball away to Alexander-Arnold. He takes it down the far side. We need to survive the first 10 minutes here of the second half without conceding, but it's Gomez over to Henderson, and he's hit the crossbar. If we can survive this first 10-15 minutes of the second half, I think they will be getting tired, and there you go, they've had to make the changes already. Gomez, Diaz, Firmino, all going off. I think we need to make a couple of changes too. We need to match them for freshness. So Willock on for Camavinga and Callum Wilson on up top. Callum Wilson, by the way, has now been sold. Only 5.5 million, not as much as I would have liked for a player of his quality, but he wanted to leave the club. A bid came in. He is 32, I think. It's not the end of the world to see him go, because it gives Mukuku some more game time. And here's Manquillo with a throw in. Not long left now. To the byline, puts it in, and it's over the top there from Cunha. Cunha maybe not quite as dangerous as I was hoping when we signed him, but still putting in a good shift as Almiron puts the ball in, and that's over the top there. I'm not sure who that was. Maybe Botman putting that one over the bar. But 10 minutes to go here. We are looking reasonably comfortable as Almiron looks to take another corner. It's flicked away. Joe Linton should get there first, and does. Plays it out wide, looking for Willock, who does recover the ball from Tsimikas' header into Almiron. Tackle goes in, but Willock to Wilson, and it is cleared away there. I thought there might be a shout for a penalty in there, but we carried on, and now they have a corner, and it's just over the top there from Datro. A few players in this Liverpool team that I don't recognise, as they've had to ring the changes, but they're a dead team on their feet. 2-0 down now. They're going to be 5 points behind us, 6 points behind United, and that is a massive victory for us in our season to get 3 more points on the board. We are 1 point behind United. Leicester up there as well, could go to 25 points, but I don't think Leicester are long-term challengers this season. It's City and Liverpool I'm most worried by, but United have been pretty intimidating up to now as well. Well, since that Liverpool game, we have had a very disappointing 0-0 draw against Leeds. We did rotate the team a little bit for that one, but Isaac came on off the bench not long after half-time and had 2 goals ruled out for offside, which means that while we are at least better rested for this game against Napoli, we are still not quite hitting the form that we had last season, where we were winning game after game after game. Fortunately, I don't think the Premier League is going to be quite as high a points total as it was last season. I think we're looking at sort of around the 85 point mark to win the title this year, which is lower than what we got in second place. But I think we're not quite at the kind of level we were last season, so we definitely need to fix this. But more importantly, if we can get through this Napoli game, we can then start really prioritising the league above everything else until we get to later next year, where we are in the knockout stages of the Champions League. So that Wednesday is crucially important. This Napoli team, very strong. Murray in there, Mario Rui in there, Zielinski in there, Anguissa in there, Irving Lozano. They are a very strong team. So this is going to be difficult, especially away from home in the Colosseum-like fortress that Napoli play in Italy. And you can see PSG have already beaten Sporting, so it looks like top of the group now is secure. This is the fight for second place, and it's a straight shootout between us and Napoli. We really need to win this because PSG in our last fixture and Sporting for Napoli means that they are probably going to get another 3 points. We are probably not going to get another 3 points, but we're doing well so far. Ball outside to Cunha. And he's tackled down in the box by Di Lorenzo. No penalty given there. I don't know if VAR is going to take a look at that, but it's Anguissa on the counter. Through to there, I think Georgian striker and Pope there with the save. Yeah, I'm not going to even attempt that one at the moment. Not unless there's a long pause in the game where I can study the name. But Mario Rui's corner is flicked away there. Yeah, I've got no idea how you pronounce that name. Kvaratskhelia? Let's go for that. I won't repeat it. You've heard it. I'm sure one of you out there knows how to pronounce it. If you want to spell it phonetically in the comments, go ahead. As Saint-Maximin steals the ball, and then his shot from close range just charged down by Murray, who is a very good goalkeeper. And now Trippier with the corner, whips it in low, cleared by the first man, but there's Botman, and he loses possession. We are looking a bit shaky here as Mario Rui puts another corner in. This one cleared away as the last one was, and Saint-Maximin out there having to do defending. Anguissa back into the striker, and Trippier there. I think it just ricochets off him, and Pope more than happy to take the ball out of the sky in his box. He then launches it forward. Di Lorenzo controls it, charges forward with it as well. Ball through to Raspadori. I don't know how he scored that. Pope flung himself like nobody's business. Raspadori managed to get around him, but it looked like he'd overrun it to the byline, and somehow he's managed to get that through. It was an excellent little ball in there. I think it probably came off the defender, and that is such a tight angle to be scoring. He hasn't even got that just inside that far post. He's got that reasonably well across the line. There must have been some bend on that ball from that angle, but we are now a goal down, and you can see our chances of knockout stage football in the Champions League looking pretty thin if the score stays like this, because they'll be on 7 points, we'll be on 6. They are playing Sporting Lisbon, and we are playing PSG as Raspadori wastes another chance there. But this team, we need to have probably some strong words at half-time. We seem to be very inconsistent at the moment. It's proving very frustrating as Bruno there, of all people, giving the ball away. Raspadori round the corner, they're in again, and it's now 2-0. I just wanted to get to half-time. We haven't managed to do that. We're now 2-0 down, and this is going to be a tough comeback. And it doesn't look like the team is really up for a big fight here. Raspadori around the corner, they got him behind, and it's an excellent finish there. They sent Pope the wrong way, and the ball was sort of lifted over him there with a little bit of effort, to be fair, and into that far corner of the net, and it is 2-0 to Napoli at half-time. I'm going to tell them they've been terrible and see if that sparks a bit of a comeback here. I'm also going to make a change at left-back because I don't like the way that Sessegnon reacted to my half-time team talk. Here's Camavinga through to Cunha. He's got players across from him. Back to Camavinga, now Willock. We do have the extra man there as Isaac picks up the ball, and he does slot it home, and it is now 2-1 in this game. Isaac doing what he always does and getting a goal there. I wonder whether to take Sessegnon off. I think I'm still going to take Sessegnon off. See if we can build on this momentum with a change, because that was a stroke of luck rather than, well, a stroke of luck and clinical finishing rather than any team talk, I imagine. But hopefully a bit of determination here, some fresh legs coming on, might just give the team a lift. I'm going to demand a bit more from them here, see if we can get a reaction. Bad reaction from Niakate there. Trippier also struggling. Let's leave it for now. Willock to Trippier. Forced to go back. Now Botman into Bruno. Camavinga through, and Willock is in, and Willock scores, and the flag stays down as well. I thought that would be offside, but Willock clearly onside. And I tell you what, I need to stop being such a negative Nelly, because I was absolutely writing our team off at half-time. They didn't seem to have the fight in them, but that team talk at half-time seems to have given them a real burst of energy, or maybe the players got it themselves, but Willock there with a rare goal to make it 2-2. And every time I go to make a substitution, we score a goal. So maybe we need to bear that in mind. But we've really come storming in this second half. I'm going to encourage the team here and see if we can get that third goal. Bruno down to Niakate. Now Camavinga. Not seen anything from Napoli yet, but they've got the ball and Camavinga wins it back. That's exactly where we were giving the ball away and failing to recover it in the first half. And now Willock tries to play it in behind. Minje steals it. Ball over the top. Botman away. Now Bruno. Across to Camavinga in space. He looks for Cunha. Di Lorenzo with the header away, but Matt Target is there. Takes it to the edge of the area. Ball headed away. Target doing enough to get the ball back into our possession. And now Cunha, he's got Isaac in the middle. Finds Target. Ball inside. Saint-Maximin was there, but he's headed it into the side netting. Now let's just make another couple of changes potentially. Camavinga coming off. Cunha may also need to come off here as they have a free kick. And it's just gone wide there for Manguiza. I was pretty sure that was going to go for a goal, but 2-2, 10 minutes left to go. This isn't the end of the world, but it does make it pretty tough with that PSG game to come. We really could do with getting a third and winning goal here late on. And here's Minje. Ball played over, but Niakate is there. Comes down, Zielinski has it. Ball over the top, looking for Matt Target, and Pope does come and get there. I was worried that Politano was going to get between Target and Pope. But now we can build from the back with Niakate playing it forward. Bertrand Diaz is there and he brings it down. He's got players in there as he whips it across and Isaac is there and it's gone in. It's 3-2 in the 93rd minute. We've come from 2-0 down at half time and it is now 3-2 in this Champions League game in Napoli. Absolutely stunning comeback. Brereton Diaz off the bench there, whipping the ball in. Isaac, look how clinical he is. He hit that so hard that it basically went through Marais' torso, just bounced off it into the back of the net. And that is the full-time whistle, and that is such a big win that we've come back from 2-0 down at half-time to win that 3-2. What an incredibly good performance from the team in the second half. And we are now in the knockout stages of the Champions League, which means we've got a dead rubber game against PSG to look forward to. But we have managed to get through 3-2, a deserved victory in the end. We did stunningly to come through there. It does mean we'll be facing a top seed team in the knockout stages. So just looking at some of those teams, Bayer Leverkusen at the moment could be Ajax, Bayern Munich up there, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, Atalanta wouldn't be a bad one. But we've got through somehow. When we were 2-0 down at halftime, I'd written us off as well, you know. And yet somehow we've managed to come back and win that in the 93rd minute. Alexander Isaac is a goal-scoring machine in all competitions. He's now on 23 in 17 in all competitions. And it means we have this nice dead rubber game here. So I'll probably go forward quite a bit in time now. Maybe into the sort of January transfer window territory. We do have this game against Man City, but I don't know how important that game will be. We now just need to absolutely blitz through the Premier League games. We've got the Carabao Cup quarter-final against West Ham, but I'm not sure that's worth coming back for with the Man City game. Otherwise, this season will take a very long time to get through it. So maybe let's look ahead to some time in January. Could be even later. There's not too many big games in January. FA Cup third round in there, but pretty quiet otherwise, and then we can maybe focus on the second half of the season when we've got the cup competitions reaching their latter stages. But if you enjoyed that 3-2 victory over Napoli, do drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, but until next time, see ya.